All right, I've been using this channel to kind of discuss the when something was a book and became a movie, and how did that adaptation go? And a couple of times, rendering an opinion on the internet is always a tricky thing because everybody has their own. But a couple of people came after me on some of them, like, "Oh my God, that was nothing like the book. It was so different. How can you possibly say you liked that transition from one to the other?" Some of the books that have become movies, especially the Tom Clancy stuff, are three, four, five, 600 page long books. They're going to be differences, right? They're not going to be the same. So, as somebody who has started to write screenplays and looked into this a lot, one page of script is roughly 1 minute of screen time. So, if you got a 500-page book, which per page has a lot more information than a page of a script, guess what? That's not going to be a shot for shot remake into a film. It's not going to happen. It would be 20 hours long and nobody would go to the theater to see it. The theaters are there to make money. They want you to pay to come in to watch a movie, to get popcorn, to eat something. It's not designed to be like a place you move into and live and watch a movie for 24 hours straight. That's not the way it works. So, like, one of the ones I was talking about was a Tom Clancy book that somebody in like the discussion they said, "Oh my God, go look at Hunt for Red October. It was the perfect transition from book to screen." It was great. The movie was fantastic. The book, however, much different, right? Yes, there's a submarine. Yes, there's a renegade sea captain. Yes, there's Jack Ryan, but that's yeah. There's Greer, but there's a whole lot of differences, especially the part where they start going after the submarine. So you've got this in the movie. You've got this submarine that's kind of shooting torpedoes at Red October, this Russian submarine, and that was the intent of the Russians in the book, but it never happened. Jack Ryan dangling off the helicopter trying to make it onto the Los Angeles class submarine, the Dallas, never happened. There's a whole bunch of shit in the book that they never make it to screen, right? Because the back half of the book was about this just crazy, seafaring, like six aircraft carriers involved, thing to go find this renegade sea captain and shoot him out of the water. Oh, but really not shoot him out of the water. We're just worried he's missing, right? So there was never a part in the book where it said, "Oh, he was threatening to fire his missiles at the U.S." No, none of that was there, right? So yes, it made a fantastic movie. It also makes a fantastic book. And those two mediums are different because guess what? You can do things in a book you can't do on screen because of time constraints. If you had a 10-part series, sure, and streaming is a good place for that now. But remember, this Hunt for Red October, a lot of the original Tom Clancy stuff, Clear and Present Danger, Some of Fears, didn't come out when streaming services were big. Nobody was watching a 10-part miniseries on Hunt for Red October. They watched a 2-hour movie. Fantastic film, great cast. I'm convinced that somebody was feeding Tom Clancy information out of the CIA or something, but I can't prove that. But great book, great movie. However, very different. That doesn't mean that the movie was a bad adaptation of the book. It just means it was different. Yes, it captures the main story elements. Yes, it captures the tone. It captures the feeling. And that's the point to a good piece of entertainment, whether you're on Kindle or print or whether you're listening to an audiobook or whether you're watching a movie. A book is supposed to, or a piece of entertainment, at least the ones I like and I carry with me and I think about forever, make me think. They make me feel something. They make me, have some kind of a reaction rather than just walking out like I did on Avatar, like, "Oh my God, you should see the special effects." That was it. That was my entire opinion about it. Was go see the special effects and nothing else in there gave a shit about. Hunt for Red October, on the other hand, when I first saw that, it was in the theater. I was like, "Oh my God, you've got to go see this story, right? You've got to do it. You've got to read that book. You've got to pick it up. You've got to get into this." It was fantastic. It was the 80s. It was a much different time. So, yeah, I'm not sure how much that translates to audiences today if it came out because it was all about the Cold War and we were living through it. And it's not the case now. But that doesn't mean that even modern books, even some of the ones I've written, you're going to take and say, "Hey, look, you've got 400 pages of entertainment here. Let's make a 2-hour movie and make sure it's exactly the same." It can't happen. They're different mediums, they're different versions of telling a story. So chill out, okay? Sometimes a great adaptation of a piece of work doesn't have to be shot for shot exactly the same, okay? Hunt for Red October is one of those things that is not shot for shot. It ain't even fucking close. However, that doesn't mean it's not good, and that doesn't mean the book isn't awesome and the movie's not awesome. Both of those things are fantastic. And if you haven't seen them or read it, I highly recommend both. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend.